All right, are you looking for a new, great book to get lost in? Thicker Than Water is a twisty thriller.
It actually tells the story of two sisters-in-law who find themselves at painful odds when the man who connects them, the brother of one, the husband of the other, is accused of a brutal crime. So here to tell us more about it is the author, Megan Collins, born and raised right here in CT. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
The journey to writing a book. Tell us a little bit about that process.
It's a roller coaster. I mean, I've been writing my whole life. I always knew that this was what I wanted to do, and pretty much as soon as I graduated college and grad school, I started writing novels, and it took a couple to actually get one that sold. And then so this now, Thicker Than Water, is my fourth novel, and I have just been kind of pushing them out.
And you've gotten, I mean, it's great that you still live here in Connecticut. You've gotten great attention from reviews from Publishers Weekly or USA Today. Yours are these twisty, kind of dark page turners, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the plot of Thicker Than Water.
So Thicker Than Water is about two inseparable sisters-in-law. They're best friends, they're business partners, they think nothing can come between them. Until one night, the man who connects them, the husband of one, the brother of the other, gets into a car crash and ends up in a coma, during which time police find strong evidence implicating him in the recent murder of his boss. And of course, these two women are convinced he's innocent. He's a great guy. He would never hurt somebody. They love him. So they decide they're going to work together to try to clear his name while he's unable to defend himself in this coma. But the more they look into things and the more secrets they uncover, the more truths that come out, the more they start to diverge on what they think really happened, with one more convinced than ever that he's innocent and the other starting to think he might actually be guilty.
All right, so how do you come up, and unfortunately, the murder victim was found with his mouth sewn shut.
Yeah.
How do you come up with that in your head?
I don't remember the exact origin of that, but I do remember that I wanted it to be very clear that this was not a random killing by any stretch of the imagination, because he was also stabbed and then smothered and then his lips were sewn up. So I wanted it to be clear that this was personal, which feeds into why the two sisters-in-law are like, he could never have done this. He didn't really care about his boss enough to feel one way or the other about him.
But he was up for a promotion, is that correct?
Yes, he was up for a promotion, so he's definitely been more in his boss's attention lately, and that starts to seem like maybe there's something there with why he might have killed him.
Okay. And the book is set in Connecticut?
The book is set in a fictional town in Connecticut called Willow Creek. And yeah, I love writing about small towns.
Will we see things in the book that we recognize? So, it's like Ryan's Deli in the book, or
I think the Hartford Current is mentioned in the book.
Okay, that's kind of cool though when you're reading a book like that, and something jumps out to you that you recognize.
Yeah, but for the most part, I always try to stick to fictional places because when you get into the real things, you get a lot of people being like, "Wait, that's not exactly how it is."
How it is, right?
Okay.
Exactly.
Right. We've talked about this a little bit with your book, but what's your writing process? Are you a disciplined writer?
Yeah, I mean, I outline everything beforehand, and then I outline chapters right before I write them, and then I sit down at my desk and I have a certain word count goal that I want to hit for that day, and I basically work until I hit that goal. And I just do that every day as just chipping away at it bit by bit.
And rejection is a part of your resume.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that, because everybody out there is going to be like, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book.
Yeah, I mean, rejection happens. Even once you've been published, rejection happens. Even right before I wrote this book, there had been another idea that I wanted to write, and my publisher said, well, we don't think that's the best direction for you to go in. But I had sort of shown them this idea earlier, and they liked this better. So, you have rejection all the time. I had a lot of rejection leading up to the publication of my first book, where I got kind of close with publishers, and then
it's a very difficult one, I understand.
Yeah, but if you love it, if it's what you want to do, you just keep going.
So just a little advice, because you grew up here in Connecticut, are there any courses people should take or things they should do if they have aspirations of being a writer?
If you're a young writer and you're going to be in the high school age, I really recommend looking into the Greater Hartford Academy of the Arts, which is where I taught for 12 years creative writing. It's an amazing school to focus on whatever art form you're really into, but especially writers, it's like a really special place.
So they say write about something that you know about, so you know about murder.
I've read some true crime stories in my time, yeah. I haven't actually done it, though.
What's next? What's next?
Next, I'm working on another book, and this one is about a woman who becomes romantically obsessed with the husband of her heart donor, even as rumors swirl that he might have had something to do with his wife's premature death.
Oh my God, that's such a great plot.
Thank you.
That is so absolutely amazing.
Oh, the husband of heart donor, like the heart still be okay.
There you go.
So if you would like to maybe pick up the book and meet Megan, she's going to be at the Manchester Public Library on Saturday, August 26th at 2:30. She'll do a book signing there. She's actually making the rounds at lots of places, so follow Megan on Facebook and on Instagram. And I know you're also on TikTok, where you get very real about the publishing process.
Yeah.
So you can follow on TikTok as well if you want to learn about that.
Isn't HarperCollins a publishing company? Or
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe
Not related to me,
Not
though.
related. That's too bad. All right,
it's
thanks
too
so
bad.
much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Continued
Megan.
success.